Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. It's a hot one here in Sacramento, California. Got the early shift. Was a little bit scared I was going to have to watch the Money in the Bank show on the on-demand section of the WWE Network. I thought I was going to be working until 9 o'clock, which is an hour after the show ends, but it turns out that at the last minute I was able to make a switcheroo and basically I'm going to be there. Long story short, I get off at the time the show starts, so I'll be showing up at home probably about the time the first match is going on. Sometimes I'm able to catch it right at the finish. Matters how busy traffic is on the way home. But all in all, I'm going to get to watch the main picture of the big show. When it comes down to it, Money in the Bank in my mind is going to be coming down to the last 3 matches of the night. They might space them out, put the Divas match in between one of them or something like that. But when it comes down to it, it's all versus Cena versus Owens. It's all about the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it's all about Ambrose versus Rollins. That's the 3 matches that I care about, and I think it's the 3 matches that almost anybody else in the world out there cares about. My buddy Victor, he's probably going to be caring about Paige going after the championship, but there's not many people, I think, caring about the Divas match right now. I don't think that Paige is going to be pulling it off this month. I see some sort of a switcheroo. Hopefully, we'll be seeing Emma and Paige become a force in the Divas division, coming together to help defeat Twin Magic. Seeing how Paige was saying that if you can't beat them, join them. I heard that Emma's going to having a title match on Monday, so it would make more sense if Paige lost this match. Emma had the match against Nikki, and then from there, that is when they joined their forces together. Emma's always deserved she's deserved more than she's got. She never really got a chance to get up off the ground. But when it comes down to it, I've watched a lot of videos, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. A lot of people are thinking that it's going to be some sort of a double turn tonight with Roman Reigns winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then in the end cashing in on his good buddy and pal, Dean Ambrose. Basically, it's just going to be an opportunity that's too sweet. He's been wanting to become champion for a long time now. Since last year, he got his first shot during the ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship. He came up short, and then he went on to the Fatal 4-Way. From there, he had to wait until winning the Royal Rumble and then going to WrestleMania, only for Seth Rollins to swoop in, and he's going to steal a championship. Dean Ambrose, he got to hold the championship last month. He didn't get the real physical win, but I think when people really remember that match I keep on saying last month, the damn show was 2 weeks ago at the Chamber. He got the win, they played his music. I think that's what people are really going to remember. He really held on to the belt for the last 2 weeks on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, running around New Orleans, hyping up the show. The storyline has been that he stole the belt, didn't give it back. He feels like he's the true winner of the title, and he's going to make Rollins beat him for it in the ladder match. So it set up a pretty good deal. But honestly, in my mind, I think that it's a good situation when you're thinking of just sort of booking your own territory and trying to come up with fantasy booking scenarios, and maybe having the Shield just ultimately implode. Since the breakup, Rollins went with the Authority. Then you had Ambrose and Reigns. Almost looked like for a week that they were going to stay a tag team and still be a faction together, and then they just really split them up and put them in 2 totally different angles. And every once in a while these guys have bumped into each other, and they've shown that they're still got a unity together, where they got the power of the Shield together. But when it comes down to it, honestly, there's a whole bunch of weird situations going on in this. Right now, Roman Reigns is the guy that they have on tap to becoming the big face of the company. And I know that people point to The Rock, as The Rock is the guy that really got his feet off the ground by turning heel, joining the Nation of Domination, doing that big, long heel run, and then even when he was hot as can be, keeping with the heel situation, to win the championship. Basically, he went from being a babyface to joining the corporation by having the whole Deadly Game Survivor Series pay-per-view, the tournament all set up for him to have the big, easy victory with the screw job finish in the end. Nobody really saw it coming. The way they pulled it off was really great. That whole show was really good, Survivor Series, but I don't know. Roman Reigns is the guy that is supposed to become the new John Cena of the company. If Roman Reigns, sort of takes the back seat to become the heel champion of the WWE and not become that main guy, who steps up to fill that place? John Cena seems to be taking a lesser role within the company right now, almost the role that After WrestleMania 6, Vince McMahon tried to give to Hulk Hogan, but then he ended up having to give the role back to him because business was starting to slide. Vince McMahon and the Warrior weren't seeing everything, on the same page. The Warrior started to no-show shows, and basically he had to put the title back on Hogan and try and rebuild another day. I think that Cena understands his role. I mean, like, even though that he's fighting with the United States Championship in the last 2 shows, he hasn't had the title on the line. He's been in the match that most people care about. Him versus Kevin Owens was sort of the main event for a lot of people of Elimination Chamber. If it wasn't for that match, I don't think I would have watched it live. I would have found something else to do with my time, because that show really didn't grab to me. With the tag titles and the Intercontinental title held in the Elimination Chamber, I really thought that it was a time for them to go pushing the WWE Championship and making that really matter in the long run. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening. Maybe you could go with Reigns versus Ambrose as your main event for Battleground. You've got Brock coming in, Brock versus Rollins. You could sort of draw things up to it. But Randy Orton, where does he fit into this whole deal? I wouldn't be surprised if Battleground is another fatal 4-way sort of deal, because you've got so many guys with these promised roles, and it's almost like Randy Orton as a babyface is almost a forgotten role. He wasn't even a part of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. He basically had the night off. Even though Roman Reigns didn't have a match, he was still active in the show, and came out near the end of it. But we never saw Randy once, so it's almost like they don't really have a spot for him to do anything. And here we are, rolling into the good part of summer, and it's going to be that time of year when Randy Orton just gets pissed off because he realized that they don't have anything for him, and no one knows where he's going to be moving from there. So I don't really see the scenario, but I know a lot of you guys do, and if it pulls off and it's good, it's great, and Roman will have that the hot fire burning underneath him. But I just don't really see them going away from Roman Reigns becoming the #1 guy in the company, and he's not going to win the championship for the first time by cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. They're going to make this guy look like he is Hulk Hogan, and he's going to beat anybody that he has to in a normal regular match.